Galaxy S24 Plus is the flagship phone that you should buy in 2024. But there is a catch. Let me explain. For the first time, it has a much better screen compared to the S24, and I like the curved frame more than the Ultra's sharp edges because it is easier to hold. It is also a couple $100 cheaper than the Ultra. My version is global and has Exynos chipset, which, to be honest with you all, I'm a bit skeptical about. We'll get into it in this review through benchmarking and gaming test performance. I also thoroughly tested the AI hype and a live translation feature, and I will show you a live demo. Starting by design, the Galaxy S24 Plus has a slightly larger screen because the bezels are smaller, so they added more real estate without making the phone bigger. They also added a 200 mAh larger battery without increasing the weight of the device. The screen is the most important upgrade. For the first time, S24 Plus has a much better screen compared to a smaller sibling S24. The screen is Quad HD Plus. It also has a brighter screen compared to the last generation. In countries where you get proper sun, unlike Germany, this can be a useful feature if you use your phone under direct sunlight. Moving to software and AI, first, Samsung promises 7 years of software support. Kudos to Samsung for changing the industry for the better and moving towards sustainability. They also introduced a bunch of new AI features that we'll go through. First is the live translation. I thought it was better to just show you a demo. I apologize in advance that Tanya and I butchered your language. I bought a new phone.
Ich kaufte ein neues Telefon.
Ah, super. Wofür?
Ah, great for what?
To test the new feature of the AI Assist.
Testen Sie die neue Funktion des AI-Assistenten.
Have you ever been to Spain, Tanya?
¿Alguna vez has estado en Latania?
No, desafortunadamente. Pero yo quiero mucho.
Not unfortunately, but I want a lot.
What's your favorite city in Italy?
Qual è la tua città preferita in Italia?
Non so, però mi piaceva molto la città d'Arezzo.
I don't know, but I really liked the city of Arezzo.
I have a mixed feeling about this feature. On one hand, I can think of scenarios that it can be useful, but I don't recommend using it for restaurant reservation or similar use cases. I tried it and everybody hanged up the phone on me, thinking I was a robot. Even my sister told me that at first she thought that I'm being kidnapped. If you enjoyed the video so far, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I need to get to 1000 subscribers to be able to pay for channel expenses, including Adobe Premiere and other camera gear. Thank you in advance. There are also lots of AI features for images and photo editing that I will talk about after the camera test. Let's move to performance. Galaxy S24 Plus comes with two different chipsets in different regions. One chipset is the Snapdragon 8 Generation 3, which is the latest Snapdragon. In some regions like Europe or Southeast Asia, we got Exynos 4200. Exynos doesn't have a good track record for battery efficiency and heat management. So first, let's run some benchmarks and then I will test the gaming performance. So let's run the Geek one first. So the CPU and the GPU test. As you can see, there are 4 cores in the CPU and they are the different clusters. Run. So to compare the Exynos to the last generation of Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, I also brought my Sony Xperia 5 Mark V phone. As you can see, the single core score of the new Exynos is better than the last generation of Snapdragon, and also the multi-core scores much better in the synthetic benchmark compared to the CPU of the last generation of Snapdragons. So next, I'm gonna run the GPU benchmark on both phones. The right again is the last generation of Snapdragons, and on the left we have the latest generation of Exynos. Alright, wow, that's quite surprising. So in the GPU OpenCLS score, the Exynos, the latest Exynos, got 13,157 or 75. And the last Snapdragon got 8,800. That's a clear win, at least for this benchmark, for the new Exynos. So maybe we can also take a look at the thermals of the phone. 89° Fahrenheit, 87° Fahrenheit, which in Celsius that's 32.5° Celsius, and this one 31° Celsius. But to be fair, we are kind of comparing apple to oranges. These two phones have different internals. For the next test, I'm gonna really push this to the furthest. I installed Genshin Impact. I connected to 5G and not Wi-Fi. And we are gonna set everything to the highest. Also, I started already the Game Booster Plus, everything you can think of. We're gonna check whether we are gonna have frame drop, how the temperature are gonna look like, and let's put also the FPS to 60. We also have to play for quite some time to see if the performance drops over time. I will start the timer and let's play together. So here there are some action, we already see some frame drop. The frame dropped to 59%, the GPU is at 100%, CPU is around 61. But the performance is still quite acceptable. I already feel it got quite hot honestly, and it's a bit uncomfortable. I'm not really an expert in this game, as probably you've already noticed. Okay, it's getting uncomfortably hot, so I'm really curious how hot it got already. Let's go to the battery setting, to thermals. 46 degrees. The room temperature, as I mentioned, is only 25 degrees Celsius. So the back of the phone is already 41 degrees Celsius, which is 105 Fahrenheit. My initial thought about Exynos is that the performance is amazing, but I need to do more testing for thermal management and battery efficiency. We try to push it to see how hot the phone gets, but this is not something you would do normally. I will wait a few days for the battery to calibrate before testing that too, and we'll talk about it in another video. So subscribe to not miss that analysis. Let's jump into the camera. The camera didn't get any upgrades compared to S23 Plus. So we have the standard 3 camera system that includes a 50 megapixel 24mm main lens, then a 10 megapixel 67 telephoto lens with 3x optical zoom, and finally a 12 megapixel 13mm ultra wide lens. The camera result in daylight is simply great. It is one of the best, if not the best result that you can get from a mobile phone. Maybe just Ultra and Xperia phones are slightly better. The pictures are slightly over sharpened for my taste though. The 3x zoom also comes in handy for capturing bird pictures. This stock, for example, specifically reminded me of some Instagram models, and I wonder why. The night mode results in flagship quality too. Of course, you have the typical over sharpened images that you expect from Galaxy phones. The colors are also oversaturated. For example, this building is white and not yellow, even though colors appear a bright yellow in these pictures. The color of the sky is also too purple for my taste. The 10x zoom in the night mode is crazy, as always, and the quality is neat. Also, as a bonus point, you get a nice shot of the moon. Even though it's fake and not captured by the camera, this is a feature Samsung introduced in the last generation, and it brought some controversies. I will do a through camera test in another review. The video quality is great too. In the Exynos version, you can take 8K video at 30 frames per second and 4K at 60 frames per second. I don't see any 120 frames per second option, which is surprising. I'm not sure if I'm doing something wrong. Please let me know in the comments if the setting is somewhere hidden or maybe I should wait for a software update. And this is the quality of the selfie camera. I'm currently recording 4K 60 frames per second, which is the maximum for this chipset. It's very windy and loud outside. Moving on to the image AI feature, I found two scenarios in which I would use the circle to search. The first one was that when I wanted to search for the name of a specific bird, and the feature actually performed really well, to my surprise. The second scenario was when I wanted to know the name of the building that I didn't know about. This feature can be very useful when you're a tourist. Samsung also introduced great features similar to Google Pixel for editing pictures. The most useful one for me is the object eraser. I find the quality of object eraser on par with Adobe Photoshop generative AI. Again, I think the S24 Plus is the best value for money this year. You get a larger screen for just slightly higher price compared to the base S24 model. You get better screen resolution, and the curved design has more character than the Ultra. Exynos chipset does perform as well as a Snapdragon Gen 3 in performance terms, but there need to be more tests done for heating and battery efficiency. In the next video, I will test the performance of Galaxy S24 Plus Exynos in details together with AI features. So don't forget to subscribe and don't miss the next video. Hope you enjoyed watching this video, and until the next one, bye!